Mr. Speaker, the challenges we face today in Sudan are perhaps among the most difficult of our time. The interminable war between Khartoum and the rebels in the south claimed the lives of over 2 million people and was punctuated by brutalities that strain our credulity. The United States poured hundreds of millions of dollars into humanitarian relief for Sudan, but never bothered to effectively engage in a high-level effort to resolve the conflict until 2001, when President Bush appointed Senator John Danforth to serve as a special envoy to Sudan. When Senator Danforth's leadership, the Comprehensive Peace Agreement for Sudan was signed in January of 2005, presenting an historic opportunity for peace, economic development, and democratic aspirations in southern Sudan. Unfortunately, implementation of the peace agreement has been slow, and many difficult challenges lie ahead. While the international community focused on resolving the war in the south, a genocidal campaign was unleashed by the government of Sudan in the Darfur region of western Sudan. As many as 400,000 people have died since 2004, and more than 2 million others have been forced from their homes. Once again, the U.S. government provided millions of dollars to meet the immediate humanitarian needs of those most affected by the conflict, including more than $150 million to support the deployment and operations of African Union peacekeepers in Darfur. This time, however, the U.S. immediately engaged at the highest levels to seek a resolution to the conflict. 2 years of intense negotiations with significant engagement by President Bush himself finally yielded a peace agreement between the government of Sudan and the largest rebel faction in Darfur, the SLA, in May of this year. Unfortunately, the government has not held, and the agreement, I should say, has not held, and the Sudanese government has launched military operations against its own civilian population in Darfur. Mr. Speaker, the United States has significant human rights and security interests at stake in Sudan. Recall that in 1996, the Sudanese government made Osama bin Laden available to American law enforcement officials, a point that Salah Ghosh reiterated to me with a great deal of sarcasm when I met with him 14 months ago in Khartoum. That offer, as we know, is refused.